All right, Mopar people, welcome back to the channel. I'm just Mopar Joe. You see the Hemi, you know where we're at. We're at Mr. Rick Seaman's underground lair. So we're doing some 440 stuff. If you'll remember, I Gen 3 Hemi swapped my 1970 Dodge Challenger Vanishing Point clone car, and it's getting a proper 440. So that's what Mr. Rick's been doing on his channel. If you haven't seen that, go and check it out. I'll put a link somewhere. But we're going to check out the block today and do some measuring on a lot of our cool random old parts. Got plenty of goodies here. These are the rods that I'm planning on using, and they are just the 440 source factory replacement style rod. But we've got to check the small pin side, or the small bore, to be sure that they have enough press to hold the pins. If you'll remember a video I did a while back, it was on these exact rods. And I got a hold of Brandon, and they went through all their sets and measured every single one. So they did the right thing, measured all those, and this is supposed to be a set that is correct with the right amount of press. These are the big 1094 pins. This is one of Dave's pins, if you want to see a comparison. For his stroker kit, the 990 pin, see that major difference. So we have that checking on some of his stuff today also. And I've got his Edelbrock heads over there. We're going to pull apart in a different video and check out, but we're checking the pin side, and we're going to check the housing bore for the bearing to be sure it has the appropriate amount of crush on the bearing. And that's coming up in just a minute. But Mr. Rick is setting up the, what do you call that machine? Rod honing machine?
Well, the gauge on the rod honing machine.
We're going to use the gauge on the rod honing machine to check these out. Also, here's my cool old bootleg pistons I got from Rodney Bird. And I'll insert a picture here because Mr. Rick found them in an old Mopar Performance catalog. I did a short on these recently. There's the part number. And these are supposed to give you 11.5 to 1 compression, I believe, with a 915 head. So fortunate for me, I am using aluminum heads, but they'll have a lot bigger chamber than the 915. So it'll be plenty safe for street driving. He's got our block, a bunch of block work done. So we measured these bores, 4 10,000ths. That's not enough to hold the pin in. So it could be that our pin is 10935 or 5. There you go. So
the rods would have been perfect had the pin been 1094.
Right. So we're not blaming 440 source right now or anything like that, but I'm going to get these fully floated, get them dropped off. They'll drill the end, and they'll be floated steel to steel. And I've seen it work a million times, and it does great. So I'll have that done here shortly, and that will cure that issue for us. But now we can check the big ends, as I check Dave's ends also.
Dead on the money, 2.5. So 440 source honed them and shipped them to you.
Nice.
Oh, that one is this a 2.5 tenths. This mic is in 2.5 tenths, so it's 2.5 tenths tight.
Won't hurt a thing?
Won't hurt a thing. 2.5 tenths.
Well, we can check them all and report back. So he's got my block hanging up here, and we're coming out to do a little deck work. How do you feel about it?
It's gonna work.
Okay. Is that a, man, that's a big hole. Did you drill a 1/2-inch pickup tube in that?
No, it was that way when I got here.
Golly. Like, here's my thumb. It's as big as my thumb. Wow. So here's our engine loaded in the Blockmaster. And to just review, Rick has just finished torque plate honing this. He did line hone it, and now it's going to be decked. So this will probably be one of the nicest street driver 440s that's out there. Should live a long, happy life, especially with my cool, old school pop-up pistons, they used to call that, right? And we're getting the machine set up, and we'll take a whack. Here's our setup. Basically pulling the dial across. I spin the wheel and he rotates that, and we just check it from end to end. And I think it's within 1,000th right now, end to end. Looking pretty good.
I'm not calling that all the way across, are you?
It's touched that back corner there.
Is it touching?
Mm-hmm. Back there.
All right. We're going to call that 0 then. Now we're going to back out and give it 3. Unless you want more, we're going to give it 3 and come across. You ready?
What about 5? What about 5? Isn't that a nice round number?
I don't care.
Let's do 5.
Whatever you want. We're 5 down, and we're about to engage.
That is slow there, isn't it?
Yep. We want comedics. It looks fairly smooth. No big dips, you know. But you don't know what range it's on till it feels its way across. $42.
Boom.
We're not griping.
Nope. All right, Mopar people.